here's why I'm really excited about this conversation is because I think it was last week I had a conversation with a chief marketing officer and a chief revenue officer combination that came onto the podcast. They were talking about how they had in 3 years scaled from 5 million on annual revenue to 100 million, and they were on track to 200 to 250 over the next 2 years. And they said the transformation inside of our company is absolutely amazing. It's almost like we're an entirely different company as we scale and transform. So that's where I want to start out. What are the biggest challenges that you see in transforming companies that are scaling? And how is HR a really important part of that transformation process?
Absolutely. I think it's important that we take one step back to understand the role in organizations of HR and the changes that have happened in the marketplace, all these social political forces, et cetera, that are impacting corporations today. I mean, let's just take a quick highlight reel. We had COVID, then the whole debacle about working from home, hybrid, remote. Then we had the great resignation in which HR and particularly talent position became a strategic partner. And then obviously the digital transformation that have taken place. And I think on average, we can expect organizations about 30 to 35% continued transformation at some level or another in most corporations. So some of the challenges that I think organizations are facing today is really adopting a mentality of being adaptive, flexible organizational models that are resilient and are human centric while focusing on continuing that alignment with company goals, short and long term. I think this sounds easier said and done because we have relied on, you and I had a sense of conversation about the playbooks and things that companies have relied on for years. There are these macro political economic forces playing. There's a lot of uncertainty. And I think the expectation that this is going to be a continuous adaptive process. In addition to that, companies are facing a skilled talent shortage. And I think the imperative word here is skill, those technology, next generation skills. And I collect statistics. I think 76% of CHROs are expecting a talent management competitive landscape and continued shortages from a CHRO perspective. So I think those are really important. And then I think just creating a resilient culture in the organization that continues to adapt. And while dealing with all of these changes, how do you keep your leadership prepared, ready, focused to guide and steer those employees who are fatigued about the historic amount of transformations that we've dealt in the last 5 years alone? How do you continue to reward your high performers and retain them, as well as continue to nurture culture builders? Because I think this conversation of HR is going to continue to be one of culture and people and their engagement throughout their entire employee life cycle.